Hello friends, my name is Matti McLean and today we are going over the best vegetables. Yes, we are going from, what starts with A? I don't know. Broccoli to zucchini and everything in between. So let us see what the choices are today and see how they rank on the grand scale of best to worst vegetables. To begin with, we have the onion. Onion is a classic. Most people enjoy onion. Most people will put onion in just about anything. I am not one of those people. I like onion when it's cooked. I do not like it otherwise. So, is it one that I would consider at the highest high of the list? Not necessarily, but I also recognize it's super important. So, because of that, I would say onion is an easy A, even if it's not entirely what I would go for all the time. We have eggplant here. Eggplant. Is eggplant good? Sometimes. Sometimes eggplant is good. Eggplant is not one that I will go after very frequently. I remember some people really enjoy eggplant. I am not one of these people. Eggplant for me is fine. I will have it occasionally. I will enjoy it sometimes. I would put it in a B. I feel like that's being a fairly generous B. So, moving on. We have beets. How do people feel about beets? I think the most interesting thing about beets is that, well, what they do to you the next day. So, with that in mind, I think that beets are a very good vegetable. I think they're very, very tasty. They're really good, especially in a beet salad with the goat cheese and the walnuts on there. It's very nice. I would consider beets a high A, simply behind onions. Not totally utilitarian with everything, but very good. Avocados. I don't think avocados should be on this list. They should be under fruits. But that being said, avocados are excellent. I don't know anyone who doesn't like avocados. So if you don't like avocados, I mean, power to you. But, you know, I'm curious to know what that's about. Moving on, we have peppers. I'm curious to know why they didn't separate the peppers into green, red, and yellow peppers, or even orange peppers. They don't have orange peppers here. But just peppers in general, a solid choice. I would say that the big problem with peppers is the sheer hassle to get them prepared. Like, you have to cut around them, you have to scoop out all the seeds, then you have to actually cut them individually. It's more annoying. It's definitely one of the more annoying vegetables on the list. Are they great? Yeah, who doesn't like peppers? But is it something that you're going to actively be like, oh, you know what, I want to go through all of this effort just for peppers? No. No, this is one of those products I'm surprised they don't have a whatever machine where it's just like, oh, you order this on late night TV and it will give you what you need and you can cut the peppers into small tiny pieces. No, that doesn't exist for peppers. At least not that I've known. Maybe the slap chop. But still, that doesn't like remove the seeds and then put everything in easily. So, moving along. Broccoli. I mean, broccoli is a classic. I really like broccoli. But I can understand that most people, you know what, I'm being too generous to eggplant. That's what I think. Broccoli is fine. Broccoli has a good flavor. It has a nice full palate. Broccoli is tasty. Broccoli is interesting. Broccoli looks like trees. I don't know anyone who would deny that, you know, broccoli is all of these things and so much more. So, do we like broccoli? You know, broccoli is fine. So, I'm happy with it being in the middle. What I'm not happy about, I have never been a fan of cabbage. Do I think it's in the D tier? Actually, maybe. Yeah, cabbage isn't great. It's certainly not a favorite. I don't like the dry taste. I don't like the... It's just an overly... It's like, what happens if you take lettuce and make it bad? Because lettuce by itself, you know what, I'm just going to get the lettuce out of the way. Lettuce is fine. Lettuce is kind of nothing. Nothing is lettuce. In the sense that it is just... It's light, it's fluffy, it's fine. No one hates lettuce. Does anyone love lettuce? You know, I'm sure someone exists out there who loves lettuce, but, you know, it's not generally looked upon super favorably. So, in terms of what I also once worked at a place where they had nachos, and they would put lettuce on the nachos. Really weird. Don't know why you would do that. Not that I would ever, you know, talk badly about a company that puts lettuce on nachos. Cauliflower. Cauliflower is, I would say, like low B. I would put it under lettuce simply because I don't think it's as flexible, but I like the taste of it still. I still think it's really interesting. I'm a big fan of cauliflower. You're probably a big fan of cauliflower. Or maybe I'm just being too generous to a lot of these vegetables. But we'll get there. Like, there's a lot here. There's a lot to go over and a lot to do. So, let's keep going. We got some carrots. Carrots are great. I'd say carrots are probably one of my 3 favorite vegetables. So, all things considered, carrots are fantastic. Full of nutrients as well. I am understanding that that's, something important when talking about this sort of thing. It looks like we got our first tuber here. So this is a sweet potato. Are sweet potatoes good? Actually, yeah, sweet potatoes are really good. I'm going to put the sweet potato up right behind the avocado. And sweet potatoes have a lovely flavor. They're super easy to make. I don't ever remember to get them as often as I should, but anytime I do, they're pretty great. I don't know any time I've had sweet potato and been like, you know what? I don't like this sweet potato. I feel like anytime I've had sweet potato, even if it's slightly like over or underdone, it's still pretty good. Sweet potato does a really good job of doing stuff. So, all things considered, pretty good. This is another tuber here. I think this is is this a taro? Or is this just like a turnip? Either way, I'm kind of not a fan of them. It's a parsnip. It's a little over sour. I feel the same way about this that I do about radishes. But I think radishes I actually hate more. Just because the flavor of them is so bitter. Not sour. So bitter. And just, it's like eating a Republican. It's just so bitter and not nice and, orange. It's not great. You don't like them. You don't want to like them. So, don't go for it. Don't do it if you don't have to. Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts are something that I used to hate, but ever since discovering that they make one of the most excellent, you cut them up and then you fry them up and then it becomes amazing. Any other way, Brussels sprouts are kind of plain, but simply that way, having the fried Brussels sprouts is so good. And you have it, it's just so tasty and full and filling and crispy and salty and just, everything that's, I guess what you're doing is you're taking Brussels sprouts and then you're making it so they're not good for you anymore, which therefore makes them delicious. So I can't deny that that's probably what's happening here, but at the same time, it's still pretty good. Can't argue with the results. So Brussels sprouts as a common thing, good to have. Don't hate that they're here. So, peas. Controversial thought, I would put peas right above lettuce. I like pea flavor. I like the way it works. I like the way they taste. I don't think anyone's any issues with peas. Give peas a chance. So that's like a perfect joke and no one's going to hear it. Kale. Kale is awful. Oh my God. Does anyone actually like kale out there? Because if you do, what's wrong? Are you okay? Do we need to talk to someone? No, kale, it's overly tough. It's very bitter. It's just not good. I don't know who keeps enjoying kale or who keeps pushing it out there, but not for me, thank you. No, thank you. Mushrooms. Mushrooms are great. I would put mushrooms right on top of onions in terms of flavor. Potatoes. Potatoes are extremely versatile. They are very good. I will put them right behind carrots because I don't feel like they're as good as carrots, but they're really, really close. Really close. Cucumber. Cucumber is probably my favorite vegetable. Not everyone's favorite. You know what? Behind avocados. Avocados wins just on the basis of being a fruit, and it's an avocado. Cucumbers are great. I love cucumbers. I think that they are very, very underutilized, have a lot of flavor, but not too much flavor, and they're just really cool. They're very nice. I like anything that's overly watery, so it's good. This one I would put down with the parsnips as well. Nothing to write home about. I would not consider them... Well, asparagus. Asparagus is pretty good. I would consider asparagus like solid middle. You just put it in the oven, get it to cook. Fantastic. So, if I'm talking squash, I'm going to assume that they're going to refer to like the butternut squash because I think that's the best one. But squash can be really good. There's lots of different kinds. They all have their own flavors. They are hard to make. So that's going to kind of keep it from going to the high tiers for me. But it's still fine. It's still tasty. It's still good. I don't think anyone would turn away if you brought squash, like a nice cooked squash to a party. As long as they're expecting you to. Otherwise, that's weird. Leeks. Leeks are like onions. Potato leek soup is very popular. Is it good by itself? Well, no, it's kind of like onions, but more... You know what? I'm being too nice to onions. Onions go down to right above peas. fight me. Yeah, leeks I would say very tasty, but very, like, not as easy to cook as onions. Doesn't go with as much things without overpowering them. But still good. I don't know anyone who hates leeks, so go for one step at a time, I'd say. Celery. Celery is pretty good. I would put celery right above beets, personally. I think that they have a very nice flavor, and they're very nice. Corn's fantastic. Everyone loves corn. Grill up some corn. Put some on the barbecue right now. You're not going to regret it. Artichokes. I really like artichokes. Not everyone really likes artichokes, which boggles my mind. But artichokes, easy B. Again, a little hard to get into, a little hard to know how to make them. But if you can get them on pizza, oh, so good. Pumpkin. Okay, pumpkin in and of itself is fine. Pumpkin to prepare is annoying. Pumpkin in pie is excellent. So, keeping that in mind. Parsnips, or is this a turnip? No, it's a parsnip. These are all kind of like the same. I'm never a fan of any of them. I want to, and then I try them, and I'm just like, you know what? It's not for me. Rutabaga. And it's just kind of like, they just never really go well. I always find them, like, it's like all the good stuff of a potato is just removed, and all you're left with is everything else that you bury in dirt. So, yeah. Not overly fond. Not overly fan. Spinach. Spinach is fine. Again, I do feel like it's a bit too bitter for my taste, but it's not as bad as a lot of the other ones, so I'm willing to let it slide. Tomato. For me, I'm not a huge tomato fan, but I will put them above onions. I feel like tomatoes are annoying to prepare, but obviously, this is another one of those ones where I'm just like, this is technically a fruit, but whatever. It's included in this list for a reason, so go for it. Garlic, again, annoying to prepare, but you can't deny garlic is excellent. Good flavors, lots of tasty, no complaints. Beans, I like beans. Good source of protein, really fun and interesting textures. No complaints with beans. And zucchini, again, I would put this kind of in the realm of tomatoes. But really good if you just like have some zucchini and cut it up and then fry it up with some butter and salt. It's great. It's great. Pretty much, I think that's my lesson here. Any vegetables that you have, just cut them up and then fry them so that they're tolerable, and then eat them, thinking you're eating healthy, but really you're just eating fried stuff, which is the exact opposite thing as you should be doing. So, that's my lesson. It's not a good one. But until next time, I'll see you later. Peace. Thank you for watching. My name is Matti McLean. You can find me on problematic streaming platform Spotify at A Canadian in Eurovision. You can find me online on Twitter and Instagram at The Big Shabam. And finally, if you like what you've seen here and you want to help me out, feel free to like, subscribe. It really does help. And also, if you want to see me do something next, don't be afraid to tell me. Looking forward to hearing from you all soon, and you have a great day now.